and welcome back to the Riot Games Arena. We're coming to you live from Berlin for another day of VCT EMEA. I'm your host Yinsu, and I'm joined once again here in the studio by Kaquka and Bonecold. Welcome back.
Today was a bit short, right? We're ready for summer action today.
Yeah, I want to see, like some other games than just, like these 2-0s. I want to see, like some banger matches today.
Yeah, 3 maps. We're getting 6 maps today?
Mappers. Yeah. At least, well, 5. Let's say 5.
I'm actually with you on that. But let's talk about some of the things that happened yesterday, because I love the bone cold, bone hot thermometer we got going here. And Bonecold, I gotta ask you, KC and Liquid, they're looking good. How bone hot are they exactly?
I mean, KC is just looking extremely solid. Like, we could even see from yesterday's games that they have, like, their preparation, as they, like, mentioned about it. It shows that they have been, like, practicing really well, and it's coming to fruition. I didn't see, like, there wasn't a single mistake that, like, was stuck in my head, like, from KC. Just solid gameplay from them.
Yeah, exactly. And when we looked about in the Team Liquid versus Koi, we wanted to see a Team Liquid that, gave us a reason to believe in them once again with this new changed core. And I think we saw it, right? We saw a Nats that was extremely comfortable in the clutches, in the entrance and in the lurks. And overall, especially when it came to Ascend, after a sloppy start on Split, I think that we saw them very, very comfortable. That is the Team Liquid that can make it deep and further into this regular season.
I still feel like, even though Liquid got the 2-0 yesterday, I still feel like they have a lot to improve on. Even though I'm so happy to see, like them starting off like strong against Koi, I still feel like there's a lot of room to improvement, and I can't wait to see them play another time.
Well, they're going to play again tomorrow, so maybe Bonecold another chance to impress you there. But you guys saw the group standing as well. Alpha is looking pretty strong. No, not Alpha yet, the group Alpha. That sounds weird when I say it like that. Later. But before we get to that, Kaquka, we've given you the reins to test us. Me and Bonecold are ready. What are we doing today?
I love this. I mean, this was a little bit complicated, but we're going to play a little game. It's going to be called Natus versus Artist, right? The good version of Artist, or the version that they sent at the back from NA after everything that he learned. So I'm just going to show you a couple of clips, right? And I'm just going to ask you at some point, are we going to get Artist, good version, or Natus? So we can introduce the clips. I believe that we will be able to see them there or here. Okay, so this is NAVI versus Liquid. You can see the Liquid is on an eco. Artist actually gets the first kill. And we're going to speed up, right? Because things start to go wrong, okay? Artist keeps getting kills, but actually because of Team Liquid like pushing, they actually get the spike down, and that's just nuts things, right? So right now, let's just pause for a second.
Are we gonna get
Nats versus Artist. Spike is down. Nats has retrieved a weapon, 44 HP right here. Are we getting Artist here, or are we getting Natus?
I think, he's picked up a couple of kills already. This is also him playing in EMEA. I'm going to go Artist. What do you think, Bonecold?
I'm going to go Artist as well. I can see Artist swinging until he hits that pillar on the right side, so I think he's going to win the duel.
Ooh.
Okay, can we please roll the clip? Let's see it a little bit, right?
Okay.
Nats has to reload a bit, and he's actually going to be wrapping him around. Artist has the tension there, 8 bullets. He starts diffusing the spike, and Nats starts picking him, starts forcing him out, and Artist has it, picks up. Still not there, not crispy shots for now.
I hate to play.
28 HP. This is what the bullet gets here, but yes, we do get Artist here in the end.
I mean, did we?
It was shaky.
Did we?
But it was there. Yo, winning a clutch against Nats is not easy doing.
Can we get like an APAC Artist where it's like in the middle of Natus and Artist, like a Parkus?
Maybe. Okay, next clip, we're gonna start right where it's already stopped, right? I'm gonna give you the situation. Bind against BBL. Spike already down. Artist is waiting in the corner. Zipan just offed himself with the rocket. And right now, Brave and Powder are about to perform the retake. Do we get Artist, or do we get Natus?
Looking at the utilities here, Pora has another stun, and Brave has a molly and a stim. I mean, in a 2v1 here against Artist, I feel like...
He has a flash.
Yeah, I think maybe a Natus. What do you think?
I feel like there's a case for Artist to win this. He still has a flash. Brimstone is going to be inside the smoke on the bomb. I feel like Artist will win this. I think it's Artist.
Okay, Artist, Natus, can we please roll the clip? He gets stunned. Very good spots too, right? So, and he's going to get mollied as well. He sees Spora, he sees the... and he starts getting burned. And then for a second, he thinks that he might be stronger than the Brimstone Molly, but he isn't.
Right? I can't believe I kind of called that. Yeah, I'll take
I have another
point.
one. I have another game, right? I only got a couple of clips of Artist versus Nardis, but since we're going to play more, I'll try and get some more clips. This one was a bit more complicated. Are we getting narrate or are we getting narrate? In this case, narrate is the version in EMEA.
Okay,
Can you roll your R's?
No.
I can't do it either.
You have a very good jota, though.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay, so again, this was difficult to find because he actually is very good. But we also have a couple of clips. And the functioning is the same. At some point, I will ask you what kind of narrate are we getting. Okay, bind again, Koi versus KC. Tomasi gets onto Shadows. This was a 2v2 situation. And Gravino's playing for the post-plan. Bear in mind, he also has his ultimate, right? Then something's going to happen. They go together from heaven. Tomasi drops, and Gravino gets the kill.
Oh, no.
1v1 situation.
Narate wins these. Narate wins these every day of the week. In fact, I think he wins everything every day of the week, but I'm going hard EMEA narrator.
Okay.
No,
Narate?
Narate. I think Narate will win this. I feel like he's just going to pop Grubino like straight away when he sees
Okay.
it.
Maybe even midair, like a cheeky midair one.
I like that. I like that. Let's roll the clip to see what kind of narrate are we getting here. As I said, Grubino is going to be using his ultimate, and of course, narrate, gets out, taps the spike, moves a little bit, and then he makes a very tiny mistake. He's caught with his utility. Just because he wants to clear that area, Grubino is actually very smart to just push him the moment that he hears the boom bap because he still needs to get his weapon out.
I feel like that's the only time I've ever seen narrate not win it.
Yeah,
that might be the only time.
It's the thing, it's like, that is the tiniest mistake, and also timing for Grubino to be playing it like that. This one, personal favorite here.
Oh, I remember this.
This is KC versus Sentinels. This is narrate in a 1v3. Wraps around, 10 seconds left, taps the spike, forces John QT and Sassy, Madrid winners by the way, and he gets both kills. He's going to get the spike down, as you can see here. He's also going to get his ultimate. So what is going to happen here? Are we getting narrate or are we getting narrate?
I was there for this, so I have no excuse to get this wrong.
Since you were not there.
You weren't there for this. You can
What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I was there, but I have seen this clip as well, so it's very hard for me to as well get this wrong.
Okay.
Should we have the chat actually, like guessing, will he win this or not?
He wins this. I'm pretty sure he wins this. Yeah.
He wins this.
Yeah, he wins.
So narrate?
Yeah, narate.
Narate?
Yeah, narate.
Okay, let's roll the clip. Honestly, you guys, this is a play to remember, so I guess I'm going to give you that. A good memory. He uses the ult. He doesn't spot Celsius, but he does get the clutch, and we get Narate. As I said, looking for mistakes in Narate's clips
It's
were
impossible.
so complicated.
It's actually
Also, we have to call them out like on program. But guys, you did very, very good. I'm surprised. Also, do not forget, we have someone next for this segment. Not yet, but eventually we will get John QT when he comes back.
The homecoming! Let's go!
Get ready. I'm already hunting for clips.
Honestly, he's currently in EU right now, in EMEA right now, so I think we should
invite him.
We should get him on. Yeah.
Can we like Discord call him?
Yeah, I'm super down.
John QT, if you're watching us, send us a message. Maybe we can get you in a call and you can give us your thoughts on the matches.
Yeah, but we're going to go from a great player to another great player because Trex is finally in the building here in EMEA, and he will be playing with Team Vitality even today. I caught up with their coach Salah, and this is what he had to say. I'm now joined by Team Vitality's head coach, Salah. Hi, Salah. Welcome back once again. Now, you guys are coming into this split with another player, a new player on your team. I know you guys wanted Trex to be here for kickoff. Now he is here. What can we expect from you guys, and what kind of player is Trex?
I think, in terms of what you can expect, nothing will change too much because we don't really... I don't know, when we made this transfer, we made it with the idea that it fits into what we want regardless. So, it was a transfer that made sense in every regard. So you'll see probably the same Vitality in the sense of the way we're playing and approaching the map and all of that jazz. But him as a player, I think everyone's gonna be pleasantly surprised because I think him and Kicks, I think those two especially, like Safe is gonna frag no matter what. Safe is gonna be safe. But I think him and Kicks are two players where if they have the correct system and the correct, I would say, surroundings, they turn into gods. So I think everyone's going to be a bit surprised with him. They're going to see kind of how good this kid is.
I mean, Trex has always been consistent, right? This pickup was a very exciting one, we felt, at least. But how does that compare to having someone like Destry in terms of roles, in terms of maybe some shuffling, perhaps, on the roster?
I mean, we have a team now that can, like, everyone can play everything. I think we have like 3 duelists that are better than most teams' duelists, which is funny. But we have like a team that everyone can play any role pretty much. Like Sander can play any role, Save can play any role, Trex can play any role, Kimmy, Kicks can play any role, even Runner can be flexible. So I think it wasn't necessarily that Trex replaced Destrian. I think more so Kicks replaced Destrian a little bit. Like Kicks took over a lot of Destrian's roles, and he's doing it fantastically, I must say. But yeah, I mean, I think it wasn't so much of a change. It was just all the things stayed the same. We just shuffled around who's going to be strongest on what for now, right?
So everyone's still comfortable?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, more comfortable?
Yeah. I would say so.
Okay. I have to address it. Yesterday, I spoke to Magnum, and he just flat out said, I am so glad we don't have to play against Vitality because they've been losing to you a lot in scrims. So give me some scrim bugs, Salah. What's been going on?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't really care about scrims. Like, it's cool, I guess, that he feels that. But at the same time, we don't really practice in a way that induces winning, if that makes sense. We practice to practice. We practice what we want to practice. For example, when we were practicing this week, especially against them, we were practicing for NAVI. So it's good that it works and it's good that it feels good on the opposite side, I guess. But it's not really a concern of us. I'd rather lose every scrim and then show up and win rather than, winning every scrim and feeling some type of way about it. It's cool, but at the same time, we have also a young team who need to learn that scrims don't mean anything. It means...
It must feel good, though, at least to hear, right? Like, teams are scared of you.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'd rather just beat them, to be honest with you, rather than them being afraid.
I mean, you got an opportunity today to go up against NAVI straight up. So thank you very much for your time, Salah, and good luck. High praises there from Coach Salah. Kaquka, who is Trex?
I mean, it's kind of a weird question, right? Because we saw him last year with Koi, but actually he's been playing for a very, very long time. And the fact that he's now with Salah, he's actually reunited with him. If you look in the graphic where it says previous teams, Honk, OG, by the way, most of the players that we see here, at some point they've been in some iteration of Honk, Bonk, Young, not...
Yeah,
but anyway, not Donk, that was the good one. But we know that he's a very flexible player. Last year we saw him playing on the KO and on the race, right? So it's also the question of how is this Vitality team going to look. I love that Salah was talking and addressing because, of course, I feel like all eyes are going to be especially on him. Everything is going to change around Vitality, especially if Salah is now confirming it. But we need to, keep our minds open into he's fitting into a bigger process.
This is the thing. Salah said they're making changes. And speaking of changes, Bonecold, I feel like NAVI, they have a proclivity for changes in general. So how NAVI do you think NAVI need to go in order to be NAVI?
They just need to be the most 2021-2020 NAVI FPX iteration. Just give me some consistency, please. No more Angel on your route. Just prep him for Clove. Let them have smokes. Just let them have that consistency in their play.
I mean, I think that what we're asking from NAVI, I like it when they go completely crazy. I like what they were doing, for example, on Bind, playing the KO with the Gecko and just trying something different. I feel like it's always a little bit undercooked, like it's not ready. And for a roster that has been standing together for so long, yeah, Artist is just back, but it's not like a new player that you have to fit in and everything. You should know how things are going to work and where your strengths rely. So I need to see them relying on those strengths.
So NAVI.
Yes,
NAVI. Well, it's time to see what both of these teams can do. Taking the stage right now, once again here in EMEA. Give a warm welcome to Team Vitality and NAVI. Trex has finally made it, standing on the stage stage with Team Vitality for the first time. We are expecting something spectacular, and of course with championship points and a spot at Masters Shanghai. They are looking for a solid start, but on the other side, Navi, they suffered a huge upset back at kickoff. But when you have players like Angel, Sogetu, Shao, Ardis, and Zipan, anything can happen. And with the coaches on either side, two people, Salah and Eric, two veterans of EMEA, both seeming like they like to change things up. They like to change the meta, and they like to bring something new. I think we have a game on our hands.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you bring up the fact of how they like to change things up. Because for the side of Vitality, when we were looking at kickoff, there were many agents that we see nowadays very much used, like Fade, Gecko, you know, some Chamber here and there, especially like a Yoru, and they go on the more traditional side of it. So I want to see with Trex now in the team, if that is going to change, if that was the idea from the beginning as well. Because on the other side, we have a Navi that just goes crazy with the composition.
Yeah, 100%. Something that I'm also very interested on seeing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, they've led the Icebox through. What's going on?
I have no idea. Let's see the maps first. We're getting Bind and Lotus as the starting maps. Which is going to be... I haven't really been looking into the maps, but Bind, I feel like... Have you seen Vitality play Bind?
I mean, no, they haven't played it yet, right? I think that they played it last year, obviously, but it was a different iteration. Of course, Trex wasn't even there. But going back to what you were saying, Yinsu, they decided to ban the Ascent and not ban the Icebox, which is what they were doing during kickoff. Maybe it's after Navi picked Ascend onto BBL and won against them, and also Vitality not having the best results in them, that they want to steer away and move to something different. I kind of like this map.
I mean, let's talk about the roles here. For Navi, I mean, they could bring anything out at this point, but with Trex on this roster and hearing Salah saying Trex is not here to replace Destrian. Trex is, Kix was the player that came here to replace Destrian. So what are we expecting in terms of agents?
I'm also looking on the same line, Runner, right? Because we know that Trex is an amazing duelist, but having Runner in, it would seem like a waste.
Oh my God!
I knew it! We had heard about this.
Finally!
We had heard about this, and I asked Gorilla when I saw him in makeup, and I said, is it true? And he said, laughing, yes, we do play Deadlock.
He was also telling me when I was asking, you know, like, how's the comps going to be looking today? He was, you know, like, just stirring the pot saying, yeah, we have been cooking. This has some salt and pepper in it.
Yeah, the Deadlock and also Safe moving on to the Echo too. What do you make of this comp?
I mean, especially when we heard Salah talk about the Screambox and the information that some teams might have gotten against them, I need Navi to do two things. Respect the unexpected a little bit, and also like keep all of our eyes onto Kix. I love that Vitality is bringing in something new, but Navi needs to be prepared on how to play around Deadlock utility.
Well, I can't wait to see our first Deadlock here at VCT EMEA and throw this over to your casters. Have fun with this one, boys. It's Mitch and Tom.
Oh boy, I'm excited for this one, Tom. We get a Deadlock here on Bind. I've seen this a lot in Ranked, but it's going to be fun to see what Vitality have planned for us.
I'm ready for some annihilation. My favorite ultimate in the game. No, I think that's the thing. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this is run. I think when we have sort of spoken about bringing in a Deadlock into the scene, it's one where we say that Bind definitely has its opportunities. I think especially with the traps, like people talk about, oh, they suck because you don't have sound cues. Okay, jump out hookah without sound cue. Like there's places you can put it on this map that at least make it a little bit more interesting. And that's exactly, well, you can't see right now, but that's exactly where they have placed their initial trap. It's just outside of hookah. So it's definitely going to be fun. It seems like Vitality have been in the lab and they're looking to cook things up straight away.
Yeah, I'm very excited for all the different setups we could see. Starting defensive side as well. Kix is going to get to show us his whole arsenal. And immediately, a Sonic Sensor thrown down on B-Long as well. Some info there. Often, you're going to get through that smoke by flashing. You run through on the other side. Well, you're going to be stunned up. Here comes the drop, the stun as well. But the flash has managed to block a bit of vision. Kix, though, still able to get himself a double. Goes back out to try and deny the plant. Loses his life. But the numbers still sit towards Vitality for now.
Still a lot to find, but never mind. Sender so low on HP has almost eliminated everybody. And with the wall currently blocking off Long, it has to be a full wraparound. There's just not enough time for Shao to get anything done in this scenario. It is going to be that pistol going the way of Vitality, and off to a flying start for the side of Kix and Sender.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the trap work for Kicks round 1. That's something Navi are going to have to think about as time goes on. Getting out of hookah can be a huge problem. Even the net thrown through to keep them nice and crouched. Such an easy target for him to drop. Those ones for Sender, though, not quite the same. I mean, he went ham. It looked like his bullets were magnetized to heads as they pick up a 1-0 start. Vitality now pick up rifles. And, of course, Navi won't have the same sort of punch to pack. They're coming in with just some pistols, a light buy, and presumably a 2-0 lead for that defense. You can never count these weapons out. They can get damage done, and Angel's showing us that. Runner already dropped. Not a huge loss for Vitality with one pistol in play, and that being towards A, they could recover it. But if they lose any players from here on out, it will start to get costly.
Yeah, now, funnily enough, there's not been many times where I've referenced Irish players, but I have got to watch a little bit of Deadlock on this map from Tempo, from Sweet and Sour, and he definitely had some cool ideas. I think they were actually running it alongside a breach, so you could kind of stun with the grab net, which I think is a nice little idea. But there are a lot of combinations that a lot of teams aren't really going to know how to deal with. You could imagine that Vitality have probably not scrimmed Navi because they knew they were going to be playing against them, so it's whether or not somebody else has been using this in the matches when facing off against Navi. For now, though, off to a flying start. Managing to get an opener around where not much is invested, just a few pistols to try and do some damage. And the rest of what Vitality have is all rifles. So any other players going down is a hefty price to pay.
Pistol up close, sometimes dangerous, but further away is where it claims its victim. This time, Safe could be in trouble. A lot of players low here. It's manageable for him. With a Guardian, that rate of fire is not going to be as high, and there's two. As that smoke emerges, they could be staring straight at him. The steps heard, though. He's backed off. 10 seconds or so for them to get the plant in. And it is going to be secured, but the round doesn't look to be securable. Angel, he's doing so well now, but he doesn't know there's a player on the right. Tucked away, Trex claims the round, but it is a costly victory for Vitality.
Yeah, no, a lot of damage done. As I said, that wasn't a load of SMGs or players with pistols. That was rifles on the majority. So the fact that Navi have been able to clear out a lot of those guns is going to mean either a risky repurchase for Vitality into the next, or they're going to have to play a bonus with a lot of pieces missing. So not a bad scenario for Navi whatsoever. And I definitely think this is going to be an interesting battle in terms of dynamics. Obviously, the difference with the way that the Gecko is being run for Navi, Angel's going to be very aggressive, but also you have a secondary player with a flash. So you can have a lot more combinations, leaving a lot more players blind. Whereas on the other side of things, sure, you're going to have a lot more stopping util. I feel like a Viper alongside a Deadlock and a Brim is so much delay. There's going to have to be moments where Navi actually disrespect the utility that's on that defensive side.
Always comes with a risk, especially up against that Deadlock. Until you kind of know how they like to use it. For now, though, it does seem to just be B-side, but it's very early on. So many rounds to play out. I'm excited to see any post-plant utility as well. There's a couple of really interesting angles. You can pop down some of those sonic sensors on the B side, catch people through walls when they're planting, make it much easier to have blitz retakes. Combine that with something like an orbital strike. You know, there's so many things they can do. Like you were saying, Tom, it's going to be those combinations that you're not quite ready for. One of the things that you'll talk about a lot when new agents come out is just they have their belt. We know how that works. It's very easy to see what they can do on their own. But once you add in agent compositions, things can get scary. And for the side of Navi, they don't want that to spiral out of control. For now, a little tech pause in, so we'll give them a breath, a moment to think, but not to talk. No communication during this pause.
I think it's just replacing a Vincere, so hopefully that won't be something that's too problematic, just something that can be taken out fairly early on. But yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the thing. Like, there'll be a huge difference between like your solo queue Deadlock sweats and what you're probably going to see in this server where there's extra team synergy, players able to put different things in. I'm also excited to see Safe playing the Gecko. Like, obviously, we're going to focus on the Deadlock because we don't ever see it in the VCT.
For sure.
But I think that it's cool to see him switch over to an agent, which I think allows for a lot of aggression. Like, think about how we've seen Narrate play it. He's going to be flashing through, like, taking these crazy fights. And I think that Safe is someone that was sort of mentioned in the interview with Salah. Like, they have enough players that can play duelists, so you might as well put him on an agent that allows him to actually be that a little bit more aggressive. We even saw it when he played Omen, like he does on Lotus. that was not your stereotypical Omen. That was I'm going to go fight you, then I'm going to TP away.
It'll be interesting as well to see him not as involved at the tip of the spear, right? Keeping Safe alive into later rounds be very valuable. This guy's always been good for clutches, but in this scenario, I mean, even just the round we saw there, he's playing with his flash, he's trying to get a little bit of space for Runner or one of his teammates to take a fight, and then he can swing out afterwards. Not as involved in the initial chaos, at least. Not like Angel.
It's also worth mentioning that we have actually already seen this map at kickoff from NAVI. They haven't changed a thing, and they lost to BBL, which is a team that they battered in the next 2 maps. It was just they had a really poor attack side when playing against BBL. Now, BBL, I think, are always one of those teams that they're difficult to play against. They have a lot of high firepower players. They can also be very aggressive in their stance to a lot of the way they play the map. So sometimes it's forgiving, but especially if it's a map you're picking, which is the case here, it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. Like, I definitely want to see what they've changed other than the agents, because they haven't moved away from that. And it's the same with, like, for example, Xiao playing a Brimstone. Now, I know Xiao can play any agent. There's no doubt in my mind that he will play that to a decent degree, if not a top-level degree. But his initiator, in my opinion, is one of the best in the world, especially when you look at his fade. I don't know if there was a player in the world who is better than him at fade. Like, maybe you could argue someone like Leo when he played it at times, but it's not the agent I think of necessarily when I think of Leo. So to move him off that, there has to be reasoning behind it. Now, maybe it is because Angel's just going to throw himself into the wind a little bit more, be that more aggressive initiator. But I do want to see if that difference is there, because him being passive and alive at the end of the round is great, but he also had so much impact with what he can do from the front.
Well, Team Vitality have fixed their issues, their in-ears, their sonic sensors were causing some problems, but now they're ready to roll. And early aggression from this attacking side as they look to spam through the smokes and deny that space Vitality took in the previous for free. And with the jump up above the smoke, Zipan has cleanly claimed that first kill. Vitality on the back foot without their duelist. As we said, there will be some weaknesses. We still see Kicks come in on a Sheriff, but they're in pretty fit fighting form on the side of Vitality. NAVI obviously fully equipped, and Thrash is online.
I think the main threat is if Sender or Kicks get a kill, because Annihilation, what it's good for is basically getting you a frag. Like, if you can get a kill on the other side, you can catch someone in clutches, it's great. And the same for Orbital Strike, can be used so much in denial. This Thrash, though, so much information. The TP through is great, though. The cover wasn't really there. Xiao was expecting someone to come in from the other angle, and because of that, they've managed to get that kill for free.
Bit of a disaster after clearing out all this space, and now it's going to be cleared out further with Orbital Strike called into effect. Sender getting them that control as they quickly reclaim Bath, but 1v1 duels elsewhere as Trex is dropped and Heaven now isolated. Kicks needs to make a decision. He falls back to fight, but the Sheriff in hand, it wasn't enough. Sender, though, emerging from the smoke for one, safe on another, and that is where the story ends. For a couple weaknesses, Vitality still come in. They have one hell of a fight to them. 11 HP on Sagetsu, and there was still only 2 alive for Navi. It's close to start this game.
Yeah, I like the fact as well, I'm now just looking for Deadlock utility. 2 players actually get caught in the net, like, just from Heaven. You see them hesitant, that's why it takes them a little bit longer to plant, because they're just crouched on the ground like, yeah, I've got to remove, I can't just sit here and wait for this to carry on for the rest. Again, utility they're probably not going to be massively used to playing against, but they do manage to get themselves around. The Deadlock ult of Annihilation is online. I think it sounds a lot more badass than it is.
Yeah.
It's all right. Oh, I don't think it's amazing.
It's decent. It's situational also. I'm gonna find a situation for it to connect. Get that cocoon up and running. We'll see how it develops. Round 4. Thrash out of play. We saw Angel use it, lose his life. This time it's Zipan before the net even falls on the ground. He's down and out. Dropped.
Sender clearly feeling confident in his own individual ability, that's for sure. Sagetsu looking to potentially try some of those Nats-esque lurks with the push alongside the screen. Basically looking to just try and take some control into lamps, but you can see for the most part that's been negated by the side of Vitality, and they're just using that Gecko utility for extra info. This fight could be everything though. Trex taking down Xiao, Smoke's gone, and now the rest of the players isolated as they head into the site.
With Angel dropped, he got a little bit aggressive. You can understand why. They need some something to fall back in their favor in a 3v5, but now a 2v5 post-plant. No nade to work with on Artis, a snake bite for Sugetsu, but the poison orb isn't even on that spike. This is going to be raw fights. The flash didn't pop in time, and now an orb's gone up for Vitality, obscuring the vision. Artis spotted, spammed, and on 11 HP, he was not going to last very long. That is a 3-1 scoreline for Vitality and a very strong start. Considering the last few rounds, there's been closer moments. They almost scrapped back in round 3, but here, it's flawless.
And Andaluthia flawless at that, just to try and basically give them that extra boost going forward. Having the extra fight, as I said, like a lot of the problems Na'Vi had were over on this attacking side when they played up against BBL. But this was one of those rounds where a lot of it, I feel, was firstly just having knowledge that Zipan likes to try and take that hookah control. That's something that we've seen for quite a while. A lot of the Raze mains will be looking for that pressure, so they had that initial fight for it. But then after that, just an isolated duel 1v1, Xiao versus Trex, it's like, gets a little bit easier for them there.
Sugetsu, are you all right, bro? He's gonna attack side outlaw here on Bind. Now, that's not something you're gonna see too often. Can definitely bridge the gap if he can land a couple of shots, and being Sugetsu, they might even be headshots. For Vitality, it's something to be worried about, and the fact that Runner's gone down early, but the trade out for Angel seems worthwhile. They lose a lot of their utility that they would be very keen to use as it refreshes up. Safe, won't lose their Gecko util, staying alive, falling back to the A site, and leaving NAVI with no real opportunities to claim.
They've at least been able to get that rifle back. I'll give Artis something to play with in this round, and constant denial off the back of Trex's utility. So he's definitely got to be a bit careful, already low on HP, but I feel like he's almost just baiting the knowledge of his teammate. They know that he's still here, and that takes that orb offline. It means that a little bit of extra space can be taken. However, still seems like they're a little bit hesitant of what direction they want to go in. 3 players now here ready and waiting for the defensive side as they finally look to make their push.
You don't imagine this is where Vitality want to commit all too much. Safe up top. He has his flash, his Dizzy back online. But it's the ult that's used. The Thrash thrown out. It won't get a lot of space. They can't capitalize on the back. Punished by Zipan was good, but with 8 seconds left, spike down. They need a miracle to get away with this. And a couple of kills might have given them if they had more time. The clock has run too far down. And so Kix clutches it out with 0 effort, 0 HP left.
It's of course the most Na'Vi way to lose a round in a Rebel Cut, just to run out of time. The old school team coming back to haunt them once again, but the fact is they do a lot in that round. That was mostly pistols, as you said, an outlaw, the rifle that I think they managed to get. It's not a bad round from them, it's just got to be a little bit frustrating. Like, I think the rest of the players are a little bit further behind Zipan, who ended up just trying to bait out that plant and dying because of it. And well, financially, it's not really too problematic for Vitality whatsoever. The Andaluthia flawless in the previous round is going to leave them with plenty of cash to play with.
They've got the credits for days. Still Annihilation online for Kix, but when you look at Navi, Showstopper, the big one for Zipan. Now, I've seen Zipan have games where he picks up multi-frags every time he pops that rocket. I've also seen games where he takes himself down.
Yeah.
So
they showed a clip of it in the pre-show. So
you never know what you're going to get with this guy. But more often than not, he's a terrifying player to face off against. A wide swing. Angel got tagged. He's down to 21, but look at the space taken. That nade. It forces Runner in the open. The spray is good, and the sight is theirs. They even used the Showstopper here for more. And this could find its mark. It's a player up close. No, he goes the wrong way. Shot in the back. Safe. Does well. They've actually got a little bit of a chokehold on the site now. Able to get backside for free. And Navi are forced way back.
Over there.
Trying to find something with the ultimate. Maybe able to catch on to Artis. I don't think it has. He's going to be able to hold on to that position. Clearing him would have been huge. Now in this 2v3 scenario, it's definitely not getting easier. Angel retrieving that operator. Kicks already tagged low and safe. Desperately trying to isolate this. The problem is they need to get someone onto that spike and onto it soon. And actually they're going to use the orbital strike. Navi just wanting to make sure they confirm this round. didn't really seem like there was much of a chance, but it's understandable with how far away some of the players were.
Hey, in terms of playing the numbers game, I think that's worthwhile for the side of Vitality. Safe could have went TP, just got out of there and saved the weapon for free. Instead, he taps that spike, trying to bait them into either dying to the spike, taking a fight against him, or, as I think was best case scenario, getting rid of that orbital strike. That's huge. It opens up so many little angles on the map that they would be hesitant to take, knowing that they have that as a reaction. Instead now, for the cost of a round that was already basically lost, they've taken a big ultimate out of their hands. Viper's Pit, though, online for NAVI. That could certainly still claim them site control, but with an orbital strike of their own, Vitality could fight right back. An interesting crossroad in the map with credits running low on the side of Vitality. This could be NAVI right back in the game.
Yeah, the stun is on the other side, but they've already destroyed the sensor. And Angel with a double opener. We talked about how aggressive he can be off the back of this Gecko. It's almost like a quasi-duelist for the team. He's not going to be able to detain Sender at the back of the site, and actually Sender's still looking to go forward. He's been tagged up by that snake bite, but I don't even think they know he's here. They will now, and actually the swing comes out from Angel. Doesn't really have any support off the back of it. Orbital strike, I think, is going to be used into that back corner, which could cause problems for Sugetsu, but he survives just in front of it. And now it's left all on to save, but it's so aggressive from Sugetsu. A little bit unnecessary, and he's given Safe a chance.
He has. That time, I mean, it's decently far gone. But for Safe, being able to put the wingman on to defuse, he has a chance. That chance is slipping away as he clears these angles and finds no enemies, no attackers. Now, it's open combat. He has no idea where they're going to swing from. And now he does. Information coming a little too late. NAVI push up to 3, and the credits now not looking too good for Vitality.
I like that as well. I think it's Xiao swings to shoot Little Bro, and then Zipan. So obviously that's where you're looking, and then Zipan instantly swings to kill the player. Like just nice little bit of timing coming out of NAVI. But also, this is, again, it's the good and bad of Angel. Like, you're going to see him go down early in a lot of rounds, but you're also going to see rounds like that. Just full sprint, takes down 2. I think maybe even he's a little bit surprised about how much he just got away with there, and currently sits top of the board for his team. NAVI climbing back. As said, versus BBL, what they really struggled with was those attacking side rounds. They only managed to get 4. Well, they're already 75% of the way there.
Facing off against Pistols. A real chance to at least match the record. And for NAVI, I like what they've been doing. There's a lot of these attack rounds that just play out as defaults. Sometimes they haven't been winning the opening duels, but you know, these things can often come down to coin flips. You run that round again, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I like that they're setting themselves up so they always have a fallback. The rounds where they went hookah, lost a player, rotate back to A. This time, a minute on the clock. They're making the call with a minute 10 or so. And they're going to go towards the B site. Full stack up. Flash out from Safe. Gets a tiny bit of information. And it's actually got the rotations underway. But they will be arriving a little bit late to the party. Let's see if these players can hold on to control. A good start from Safe, though. This actually might buy time for the full rotations by the time they make it out. And NAVI, if they don't second guess hitting this site, they could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the net has slowed them even further. So much delay utility available. That's the one thing they did have in this round. Nice. Unfortunately, they do not have the weaponry. Kix is going to get one for free with the bullets running out, but there's nothing more. Sugetsu cleaning things up with the 3K. Bonecold would love that.
Bonecold, you said, yeah?
Bonecold.
But look, at 4-4, NAVI have done incredibly well. They've regained control of this economy. Vitality were off to a flying start, 3-1 on the back of a flawless round. They had all the credits to work with. They had ultis coming online first, but we're neck and neck on a side that NAVI have struggled on previously. They've got to be feeling confident, happy, and with a lot of credits in their back pocket, they've got at least one more buy as a buffer, probably 2. Last stage of this half is going to be Vitality struggling to regain control. Viper's Pit and Thrash online for them. In the previous rounds, NAVI have had the edge in terms of ult economy. Now it's Vitality's turn, and that was a risk.
Showstopper one away as well. Artist looking to take that fight, and it gets tagged down to just 10 HP, and then still hits both shots.
And runs in. Look at him go. Hasn't even popped his ult.
This is definitely going in Kaquka's Artist rather than a Natus? Natus.
Spike planted.
I think we can workshop the name, I'll be honest. But that's an Artist round.
He's 10 HP.
True.
And look where he is. Artist is in the doorway. He is beckoning them forth.
He's got a pop flash. What do you mean? He's getting ready.
Of course.
That killed him. A little bit close.
Artist, I told you to get back.
Of course, it's Angel throwing the util as well. You know that if he died, Angel would have gone, what do you mean? Your fault.
Yeah. 10 HP, fall back.
I didn't see you.
Post plan. You're in the smoke.
But, wow, what is looking like a flawless round in terms of Navi's survival. I said 4-1 down to this. Looking like a unit. The entries as well from Artists, like he might not be on the duel list, but again, they have so many players that it was sort of mentioned by Salah again that they have anybody who can play a duelist. I actually feel like Navi do as well, even though they shouldn't. Like, Angel should not play a duelist.
You reckon?
But as an opening player, I think when he wins those duels, you go, oh, maybe he could do it. Maybe he could.
Hey, listen, Angel is a space taker. It doesn't matter what role
Wait until
he's
close
playing.
in the game.
Oh, man. That is going to be
I genuinely think he might have paid someone off to make that agent. It's
It
like,
must be.
Bro, smoker that can die and come back to life.
I thought
and
it was the
guy's
funniest.
like, oh.
The funniest part about that is when we saw the agent, we saw the abilities, and we're having a conversation, and the first thing you said was Angel. Like, he's going to love this. We're all talking, we're like, yeah, that's crazy. That's so funny. It's literally him. And then the devs were like, yeah, obviously we thought a lot about players like Angel. It's like, of course you did.
I actually spoke to, well, the dev that said that, the after party, and he said,
great guy.
yeah, I'm memeing. Like, he was like, I knew people wanted to hear that, so I said it. And I appreciate it. I like that he's pandering to the community, but it does seem like an agent that will fit him. But I'll be honest, the way he's been playing this Gecko again, like they have another initiator, but that initiator is also playing that aggressively. They're both just taking fights, going toe-to-toe with the Vitality players, and right now they're losing a lot of those battles. I think this is a good time to take a pause. Like, you're going in, you've got 3 ultimates online, ones that are all high impact as well, in the form of Thrash, Viper's Pit, and a Showstopper. Runner's got off to a bit of a quiet start, which is not too characteristic of him. Normally someone that is up there on the board, and especially for the attacking half, you really need him online. He's going to be the space taker.
For sure. I think a lot of the time here, he's gone aggressive, and we found trades at worst for his position.
Sure.
We'll keep a closer eye as time goes on, but I do not expect to see him finish near that scoreline he's sitting on. Now, here's a Viper's Pit used just in time, so the ult won't affect it. Drex, though, has been spotted. And that is a beautiful take from NAVI. The flash through revealed and gave them an iota of where he might be, and they just dive right down on top. Bet they wish there was a deadlock trap this round.
Spike planted.
Oh, that is bleak, but Sender, given a couple of opportunities, Sugetsu eventually will play it safe. Little bro may even find him within. They know exactly where he was. Sender didn't shoot it because he was worried, and Sugetsu just lands every shot placed in front of him. Finally, well, this time Runner isn't down, but he's left at a 1v4 turned 3. Try and bring this back for his squad, but being watched by so many angles, no real opportunity for them to use this Showstopper. And that's the thing that's a bit frustrating. I feel like they had the utility to try and get back into this round, but they wanted to play ahead of it. They wanted to play aggressive. I don't think you can do that versus Navi.
No, it's probably not the squad for it. And I see what you mean. You know, you have your wall to section off the control. You have your pit to retake some space. There's a lot. Well, this also incredible for Zipan to have that kind of precision. Moves right to the backside, turns immediately to face the player. Knew exactly what was going on. Good read. Full read on the situation, and maybe that's thanks to Angel.
Wow. 6-4. Trying to take this one into their own hands a little bit. The knife was about to take it away, so had to be fired off. And it has found absolutely nothing. Even the space taken has to be immediately given up. You can't fight for that control any longer.
No, that's one of the things. If you move this down towards B long, even hookah control, take mid, these are angles that you can section off into little choke points, but A mid is never going to happen. There's just too many angles they can come back from. You're way out of pocket holding that angle. Now, for Navi, they've decided to retake the space slowly, giving respect to Vitality, although I feel like that might come to an end soon. Angel, 2 players on the other side. The idea for Trex to take the fight and Runner
plays crosshair on him through the wall.
to take it right after. This should be an easy trade. In fact, the flash will give it away. It might just get Runner ready to swing. In fact, they've fallen back, giving up the space, focused on Zip, and Runner has got 3 in this round. He's shown up and just in time, because Vitality need this. NAVI are running away with the game, and now at 6-4, finally there's some fight in the defenders. Up goes Artis, and down right after, 6-5.
Yeah, what a round from Runner. That's what we like to see. As said, it's uncharacteristic of him to be down the bottom of the board, having a quiet showing, and for him to just be able to set up, clear out 3 players as they try and cross into the site. And again, like leaving Angel a little bit isolated, but he started to hit the shots. So they were very quick to look for those trades. Just unable to get them over the line. 6-5. Still though, I am curious for this attacking half of Vitality, because I look at this composition as one that has an awful lot of delay, an awful lot of opportunities on the defense, and for attack, I'm mainly looking at Runner and Safe. Like everything else, I feel like kind of sucks for the attack side. So I am curious how they're going to get things over the line. I think that actually getting this level at 6-6 is going to be fairly important for them.
Ultimate ready.
I suppose for Kicks, maybe that utility. My main thought on it has always been post-plant. You can do a lot with it, but
it's getting in.
That's the issue,
scary
right?
thing.
Breaking through Navi's defense will be something else, but we'll see that after the next round. For now, the final of the half, an operator in the hands of Runner, but the same for Angel.
Of course,
Element.
and Artis.
Naturally. Artis makes sense. Angel, a little bit different.
You
They
say
have
that
the
to
extra
his face.
credits. No, not a chance.
Say that to him in the post-match interview. We'll see what he says.
There it is. I was going to say, is there no spare rifle? But yeah, there was indeed, sat on the ground. So just the one up on the way through. They've traded out Safe to start with, so that flash that they've been using on A for Vitality won't be in play. And I think they're just going for a retake setup because of that. They haven't got the early information. They haven't got the manpower. They stack B. Now they'll give up this plant with a double flank being the idea.
They don't currently have much. Annihilation is available, which if it can pick off one player, that could work, but never mind. Sugetsu's been caught from behind anyway. Not having much. The problem is, it might be about to switch positions. Rifle picked back up. Nice shots out of Angel. And it is going to leave things down into this 2v2 scenario. Coming in from different positions. Trex looking to make his way through all of the utility. Molotov available for Xiao. This is the thing. Him in the post plant's always going to be deadly. A safe pair of hands. And while they've got to now try and get onto this one, they think the time's going to allow for it. Needs to be right back on it, and it isn't going to be happening. Xiao will even just sit back and watch as they win themselves the final round of the half.
Well, considering the situation we were in, 5 rounds into this game, NAVI have done one hell of a job in recovering that. You spoke about their attack side struggles before, Tom.
Yep.
I think they've done enough to make up for that in our minds, especially considering they're 7-5 having lost the pistol. Very strong half from them, and now they move to their defense where, like you say, I'm not too certain that Vitality have a comp that you would describe as built for the attack.
Yeah, I think that especially, again, like going back to Deadlock, there's combinations that you can run, like especially with the GravNet. Like if you're going to hit someone with it, have a nade combo. But again, I feel like a lot of that is easier on your defense. Like if they're running through a choke, you hit them with it, and then there's something else coming in. A lot of the time with the defensive side, you'd have to have a specific player in mind to pick out. So I am going to have Safe and Runner again. They're the focal points. They're the players I'm looking at to do a lot of the work, because having a Viper and a Deadlock, well, you're going to have some pretty heavy lurks, I'd imagine.
He wants nothing to do with that fight. Vitality aren't looking to push just one angle, though. As we see on the map, they're very spread out. Fortunately, that means there's not many players here to defend against this push. NAVI straight through the teleporter, but Runner! Another triple for him, showing up here and now. And giving Vitality a second lease of life in this pistol. It's a 2 versus 2. Runner's taking some damage. He's already used up his boom bot as well. And they don't have any information on Xiao and Artis. And it's Xiao and Artis. Quite a combination to try to take down.
This is almost going to be a game of chance, because Vitality, the reason they're taking so much time is because, of course, they will have had the expectation that maybe somebody will have rotated over. And for the side of NAVI, they're slowly walking up behind them. Now, they definitely had the foresight to think, okay, there could have still been someone in hookah. So that's definitely an angle that they're going to want to try and keep an eye on, especially now with the knife coming out of it. Both players caught. That gives Artists enough info that there isn't anybody back towards Xiao. Doesn't need to clear any of these positions. And while they're trying to still clear in towards that defender spawn, because they are yet to spot where Xiao is.
Look at the plant position, though. I mean, it's not like you can stop them from spawn. They have a nade online for the side of Vitality that could maybe push them off that defuse, and Navi are taking a while to claim the space.
Smoke's down.
This could be a little bit awkward. Let's hope that nade is well placed. It's enough to force them out, but now they know exactly where Runner is. His 4th kill already locked in, but the defuse is underway, and the smoke will obscure his vision. Good connection. And now he knows it's being stuck again. The spray through, it's everything, but he's missed. The reposition of Xiao is enough to claim victory. The pistol goes to Navi.
To scatter from my stuff.
And the ace is stolen out from under Runner's nose.
Yeah, there was a world where he gets an ace and still loses. Again, just the gall of someone like Xiao. That is the thing with him playing this Brim, is like, he is such a safe pair of hands. Like you saw in the post plant just around prior. This grab net was unbelievable, by the way. Both players just had to sit there like they were a turret. They turned into a KJ turret for a little bit, just sitting on the ground, and left them vulnerable to all of the utility. You're seeing the assists for Kicks. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough in the end. Come on now. You're going to see, again, investment here. 3 rifles, a pistol for Angel, even a Judge. For the other side of things, okay, they're able to get a few pistols on the board and attempt to try and do some damage. We've seen them be talented with these guns. It's just, can they make this costly enough? Because now Na'Vi have a chance to really springboard themselves into this map.
This is it. Yeah, that pistol represents so much. Now, obviously, we saw Navi on their attack side build up the rounds later. Again, that comp for Vitality will cause some problems potentially. Clean to start. Maybe not to finish, but 1 rifle dropped is nothing. They can claim that back. Another, though, and it starts to get a little bit risky. Angel on his way in, but he's only got a ghost, and they can isolate this fight. Not a very favorable one for him. And Trex has even picked up Zagetsu. This is getting very scary. And finally, the scares subside, but what's left behind is a Navi that only saved 2 rifles. I was waiting to see if Angel picked one up, and he did. He was able to get there in time, but still costly for the defense.
Now, Angel obviously did just eco, so they might be able to drop 1 over, and then the other 2 players are going to play a little bit less in this round, just go for the pistol. So it's definitely not going to be as dangerous a round as Na'Vi would like. But yeah, again, good work. And I think we're seeing more and more the effectiveness of that grab net. Just that's the whole reason that Artist gets kills in that round, is because he's trying to take out the stupid pin to the grab net. 9-5, though. A must-win round for Vitality. Like, you're coming up against 3 rifles. Okay, Artist with a pistol is no slouch. Neither is Sugetsu. So I don't think that it's going to be easy. But if they're not going to win this round, I don't expect them to win any of the others either.
There won't be many more to talk about. Left side left open by the boom bot. It's cleared, though. Vitality again, same thing we've seen many times before. They're not committing to the early bit of map control they claim. They're going, they're poking, and they're deciding later. The problem is, look at the rotations out of Navi. They've left B now for a 4-man A stack, 3 pushed up close. Zipman in the corner, but Artist is caught. A snake bite. Oh, that's going to catch both players, I believe, and the flash is giving it away. They know there's someone else there. Vitality steamrolling this round. They shouldn't expect Angel. 3 players pushed up like that? Yeah, you're knife out going into this fight, and a chance for more. Angel's picked 2. They're back in the round, and Xiao's on his way, but Angel doesn't care. The flash gives him a bit of space. The Mosh will stop them claiming the spike for at least a moment longer, even stopping them from fall. One, they got a kill! Safe stepped into it! They've got the spike and they're out, but look at how much damage Angel has done. It's a 2v2, and Xiao's on the way. He's so quick, having already been in spawn. He gives it away with the molly, and it lands not for that plant. So at least the post plant will be set up by Vitality.
Oh, Angel into the 1v1. I don't know how he's winning these fights. Trex should have had him dead to rights, and now Angel takes control. We talk about this man a lot of the time, all for the wrong reasons. But what an absurd ace to give Na'Vi their 10.
Talked about any player there being able to man a duelist. And after that, give this man a Reyna. What was that? I mean, here, catch him by surprise. Catch him by surprise. Okay, all good. That is silly. That one was silly. And after that, again, just unbelievable play. Look at the confidence on this man.
I died.
I think I made exactly, yeah. Yeah, there's not much else to say, Safe. These things happen to the best of us. Talk about not being familiar with the deadlock utility. Maybe he needs to run against a few more geckos.
We talk about like players having like life games. Angel might be having his at 34 years old. When does it stop? Oh god. Talk about talented players. Angel has taken the biscuit today.
Surprised we almost don't get a pause after that to calm down.
Yeah,
if there was anyone else.
It's got to be infuriating. What was that, 2v5?
Yes.
The way they lost that round was mostly, well, it was completely just the fights versus Angel. Nice combo. That's what we wanted to see. Grab net in play. Angel's still around though. They might even just showstopper him. No, never mind. He's still kicking. He really is having a phenomenal game. Got himself the ultimate online. Kicks looking to try and respond. Been spotted. It's going to be the flash to try and help Xiao get the kill, but Angel's doing it all on his own. 8 kills now in 2 rounds. Finally, he's been put in the grave. But it didn't even matter. Talk about combos. Everything thrown at Kicks. 11 and 5. They're running away with this.
There's a moment where Angel's eyes were wide with shock, and now he just looks awake, wide awake. 19 and 10 on this Gecko, on the IGL. He's out fragging players like Zipan, Artis, even on the other side. The entirety of the Vitality squad we respect as individuals. He's making it look easy. An old man's game, evidently.
This is the thing, there's a lot of players I feel like are getting stick at the moment because they take very risky fights. And I feel like, for example, there's been talks about people like Redguard, like IGLing and having troubles like putting up that individual ability. The fact is with Angel it's different because you're getting a 50-50. Either he's gonna play like this, where no one could do anything because he's just playing such a ridiculously aggressive style that it's hard to play against, or there was a clip from Kickoff where he ran through a smoke with a spike and instantly died on Breeze. Yeah. Those are the two sides. And unfortunately for Vitality, for the last like few rounds, they've been going, yeah, I'm going on black this time. And every time it's hit green. Like it's just hit the 0 and he's just killed you. It is just absurd what he's currently doing in this matchup. And you have to feel a little bit bad for Vitality that they got Angel on this day.
Yeah, right. You really hit the RNG poorly. Maybe this is Navi's new system. They figured out how to get this Angel in every game. Let's hope so.
You know, after this match as well, Artis is never going to hit the end of this. Just I like how do you, bro?
I mean, he's going to be, we're both initiators. I'm just better. You know, what can I say? Who do you think should win? KO or a Gecko? It should be the KO, right? Oh, God, I wouldn't want to be Artis. Well, Angel noticeably stepped out of the mosh pit. An interesting move. Safe's taking notes. And it looks like we've got a Cocoon. It's Artis that's being caught, taken away, and, well, he will not be living to see another day. In fact, he'll be donating his weapon over to the side of Vitality. You now stand a chance. Kicks has done well, but here comes the little homie. And unfortunately gets nothing. It's used preemptively, thinking the push was on its way. The wraparound from Zipan. Oh, barely missing the pixel of Kicks' head. Blasts him out and takes him out of the round. Showstopper used, but he's caught. An immediate trade out as Trex now moves to cover his teammates' retreat. The A site plant is the objective. How much can Trex do, or can he slip out alive? It looks like the answer is to the latter question. The answer is yes, he's away. He's safe, and the plant will be secured with a post-plant Viper's Pit available, and I presume about to be used, especially with Safe's lack of weaponry. Doesn't look like it, though.
There's not really anything to be found. I guess just so wary to be caught with that ultimate in hand that it might not necessarily be worth the risk. It does leave Trex with the majority on his shoulders, although with Angel so low, that frenzy actually becomes ever more deadly. A real opportunity for Safe to pretty much put this to bed, but just peeking those angles. Angel has been that star entry fragger, been that star duelist. Trex just trying to hide on the edge of the poison orb, but eventually he's going to have to move. Doesn't have the utility to play with, just hoping he can get something off the spam. It's already to harm, but Angel just spams straight back. Sugetsu, he has no fear. There was no letting go of that defusal. He knew what he needed to do. And once again, Navi, they're going to clutch out this round, 12 and 5. As we mentioned, it was 4-1.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? An economy was stacked for Vitality. You know, it wasn't like they make one mistake, you trip, you stumble, and you fall. No, you trip, you stand back up straight, and they knock you back on your ass immediately. You know, I respect it as well. Like you're saying, Sugetsu just sticking it. When Angel's 21-10 and he goes, stick it, you stick it.
Yeah,
you know, you start getting hit, you stick it.
You're getting a slap on the back of the neck if you don't.
And he got it, man. Angel has been on fire. I think I heard him earlier, right, in one of the replays go, I'm full cheating. And I'm starting to think he might be telling us something. I mean, check this man's PC. He's unbelievable. And one more round needed out of 7 for Vitality. They can at least take solace in that this is Navi's map pick. And they came in with an interesting composition. They tried something new, and it hasn't worked out. Often, that's what you need with these new comms. Test it in an official and find out your flaws. Unfortunately, I don't know how much you learn from a game like this against Navi. Don't have them just barrel down towards you. Okay.
I think a lot of it came down to that defense. We didn't really see what we needed.
Like, what is this guy doing?
So, one of the players in that 1v1 fight is a young star that's just come up for the tier 2. The other won the fight and is 34 years old.
Orbital struck back. Okay, backwards. I thought they were going to be firing out into Angel. He was about to get another 3K, but it just delays a little bit of time.
Yeah, they've still got that Viper's Pit. Might be able to use that to try and drop out of Hookah. With a little bit of extra space. They also have the Thrash to try and take themselves a little bit of extra space. And actually, Xiao's kind of stuck in the mud, but they might just be stuck with Angel. Waiting on the edge, so is Xiao. Just looking for anybody. Angel's been cleared, that's something, but they haven't spotted Xiao somehow. Trek still manages to win that duel, leaving it into a 3v4 scenario. Trek's in trouble, taking a lot of damage, and that pit will fall if he goes down with it. But the players defending on the other side, catching them as they try and push through. And Zipan and Sugetsu, well, they're going to fall as well. A great flash coming out of safe. Can Sugetsu make this costly? Can he get some ult orbs?
Looks like he's just going to be hightailing it. Can't even catch them as they exit with the pit up. Good usage of it. We thought maybe it would be used in the previous round. Instead, here it is. And the success found leaves 12-6 on the scoreline. Half the score of Navi. It's still quite a path back. But there's a way developing in front of them. Now the Thrash, as we see end of round, was still online for safe, but that was because he picked it back up. So that won't be there to work with. The only ultimate online for the next round is in Vitality's hand. It's Senders, and it's the Orbital Strike. Could clear out a lot of space, and often when you see that Orbital Strike, Tom, you're going to move towards the A site with it. And I feel like for Vitality, this isn't somewhere they want to sit back and use those ults later. You probably want to just come out, off rip, pop it in, and try to get some momentum going. We'll see what they decide on.
Sugetsu as well. Viper Operator. He's not necessarily the player I would have expected to pick up this gun, but just looking to try and lock down some more aggressive positions. Like we've seen a lot of the combos that Vitality have done have been in order to take someone out on the site. Runner has... I think he was on top of the truck. That's the only thing I can assume. Safe. It's just absurd. Like, taps his little buddy to get them back into position. Zipan's going to be able to find one, but he's desperately low, and Kicks will be quick to trade. Still, in these clutch scenarios, Navi have been problematic.
Yeah, Artist is going around the world, but it looks like it's being spotted. Safe, though, the first target, 30 HP. They're coming up on the fight right now, and as we didn't see, Artist falls. So for Safe, a third kill in this round, and the Heaven Control that we spotted is going to be given up as Sugetsu decides to back on out and move to the B site, carrying forward the up to the next round and giving Vitality a 7th, a way back in, some momentum, and wind in their sails at last. But how long can it go, Tom? This is it, Navi. You're going to be building up ultimates, and eventually you run into that Angel that we've seen round and round again.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. But the thing is, that was a big round from Safe. And that's the thing, he's still been putting up numbers. Like, to be able to bait them in and find both kills is just a huge little piece of individual prowess. They were ready for what has been an aggressive defensive side from Natus Vincere. And well, now, 5 rounds, still a bit of a lengthy way to go to get themselves to overtime after what was a big streak, other than the one blip in round 11. The question is, do they sort of have the stones to take over the line? And we're actually going to see that operator now switch over into Zipan's hand. He was already getting the opener when it came to that mid presence in the previous round, but this is going to be a different dynamic for them to face off against. I don't actually know if Sugetsu shot the op in the last round, so they might not be expecting it.
I think you might be right. I don't think a shot was fired off. Definitely not when he was saving it. And not here starting out the round for Zipan. Forced back by the snake bite that came through the roof up top. In comes the wingman. Zipan will avoid him. And you know that player wants to go back and claim him again. Safe was able to catch them off guard last round as he went to reclaim his utility. This time he dodges a bullet, swings out wide, and takes another. Beautiful stuff for Safe, and he's not stopping anytime soon with Angel spotted on the flank. It's all left on to Xiao. And this 13th round will evade Navi once more, short of heroics from this man. Not heroics we've never seen before from him, but ones I don't think he's even going for. In the spawn, and presumably a save will be called after this plan comes in.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised.
They need the credits too.
See them go for this, especially in a 1v5 where there hasn't really been any damage done whatsoever. But yeah, it does look like Vitality are now starting to build into this one. Some solid utility, they're aware. I think that's what I'm liking. Oh god, okay. That's not what I wanted to see from Xiao. And Andaluthia flawless in the end for Vitality as they continue that climb. But yeah, I think they're very aware of the aggression that's coming in for Na'Vi. They've slowly started to adapt and basically wait, clear those angles in a lot of the aggressive positions and make things a little bit more difficult. But again, they've had a lot of these cool utility combos, like having the snake bite with the grab net and the paint shell just to clear out a player from the backside. It leaves Zipan completely isolated, and that's why you see Safe so confident to actually swing in here.
Well, that momentum that was read by Vitality earlier on is going to come to a halt, at least for now. A timeout called by Navi as they take a moment to assess where they're at. They had 7 chances to close it out. Now they have 4. Understandable that they take a breather. Still 1 timeout left for Navi, none for Vitality. Now, if you're Navi in this moment, one of the key things you've got to be aware of is the ult economy for Vitality. Yeah. 3 big ultimates online. They might dump them all into one round if they make a mistake, but probably that means you're going to be facing ult after ult in round after round. And so that just adds that little bit more depth to what you're facing off against. But at the same time, maybe Navi are just going to resort to a strategy of sending Angel out to kill everyone. Get him aggressive early round. Why not? It's been working.
Yeah, the only worry is it does work until it doesn't. And that's the thing. It's like, this buy especially, sure, take a risk. Go for something silly, gamble. But I also think the problems they're having is that Vitality have these sort of set plays to get them an opener. And then from then onwards, whoa, as we saw mentioned, runner 1 and 6, that's changed. He's now 17 and 14, sits at the top of the board for the team, and seems to be coming more and more online as the rounds go by. The judge from Angel, thankfully, considering he's playing B long, is gone.
Yeah, he gave it to Xiao. They little swapsies. So Xiao could play inside of Hookah instead, but Vitality are going to be avoiding all of those shenanigans on B. Instead, looking at the A site. Orbs just being claimed. Zipan just 1 away from a showstopper, so that's online for next round. Thrash will be there too. The buy round out of Navi will pack a punch, maybe even matching that of Vitality. Now though, not so much. What? Okay, Angel has used Thrash. He's committed it. He's gone through the TP. He's found nothing with it. Now he's stuck in a long-range fight. At least he's got a rifle.
Spike planted.
But stuck in a long-range fight. Trapped inside a TP with 30 HP. His life is limited, to say the least. Looks like Sugetsu might grab at least. Oh, that was suboptimal, to say the least.
They baited the hell out of him with the sensor. I love it. Just basically put him in a position. And while they are isolating all of these duels, it's going to be the 1 kill coming out from Xiao.
Well done.
But this has been a good round for Vitality, and I like it. They've got a lot of little tricks to just make things more awkward. 4 rounds in a row. They need another 3 to bring this back to overtime. And they didn't use any of their ultimates there. In fact, as you said, the only one used was by Angel.
Which really surprised me in that round. They're already a man down. He said, no, screw it. Now, I guess the idea being that could have won them the game. Having already lost Artis in that position, there's a rifle down. He can TP, take the rifle. And if he catches 2 players, they're right back in the game. Things have been working for him so far. The stars have been aligned every time, but this time there was cloud cover. It blocked out any potential. 3 rounds now needed for Vitality. 3 in a row. Doesn't matter how many credits they've got in their back pocket. They've got enough. That's all you need to know. 3 ultis, like we said, and it will be Thrash used right off rip. And in fact, Zipan, showstopper back, cancelled the Thrash. Orbital strike down for space. Vitality tried to claim it. A mesh of backside, but Kix is caught. This is pure chaos with another showstopper thrown through. NAVI, I mean, they've fallen back. They've given the space. They've allowed these ultimates to fall flat, essentially. And now they've got to retake on more even ground.
They've got a huge HP advantage as well. Like, a lot of the damage has actually been done onto the Vitality side. Safe and Trex on their last legs. Flash over the top will garner some space, and as two of them fall, Trex looking like he might be just trying to play some of those post plants, but he doesn't have any utility to play with. Sender will at least land himself a shot. Trex has found another, but he's dead to rights. It's going to be left onto the IGL.
Molly
Still has a molly to play with, to try and slow them down that little bit more. Being fired out, they should be able to get this one to half, however. In fact, Shao might even just opt to stick it the whole way. It's not going to land in time. It's just that little bit too slow. And Vitality's comeback will end up being a fake, a bit of a whimper. In fact, the Molotov didn't even land. We didn't need to land a slow-mo at the end, but it isn't going to be there.
Yeah, tough situation for the squad of Vitality after a really nice comeback into things, but they were 4-1 up starting this out. You got to commend the resilience in NAVI to be able to fight right back into this, coming out with a dominant final couple of rounds that we saw them win. And now we move on to the next one of Lotus. Their Vitality's pick, their chance after this.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. But, in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin, former professional Counter-Strike player and Valorant coach. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle, you're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.